Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to be playing some more blindfold chess with the cats that I'm not actually blindfold. I'm only looking at notation. You can see my screen. You can see what I see right below me. I'm going to be playing against ChatGPT. Now, I'm not using some GPT that's formed specifically for chess. I'm just using the raw ChatGPT 5 that I have. And ChatGPT can hallucinate. I can actually correct it. I can say like, hey dude, I don't think that you can make that move. And if it says, oh, you're right. Heck yeah, that's good for me. The board that you see to the right here, I can't see it. I'm only looking at this ChatGPT window that's right below me. So let's see how I do against ChatGPT without looking at a board. Now, small update. I did hit 1500 on Rapid on chess.com. Feeling pretty good about myself. So this is kind of my celebration, as I'm going to try and play against ChatGPT without a board. All right, let's get into it. Okay, I've gotten ChatGPT to create me a prompt that tells it how to play with me being blindfolded. I don't want him to make any comments about the position. I simply want ChatGPT to respond with the actual notation, and that's it. And I'll respond as well with just the notation. I'll start with D4. ChatGPT is also set to auto, not thinking. So it's not going to take 5 minutes per response. He responds with knight f6. I'll go bishop f4. He responds with d5, pushing that pawn in the center of the board. I will respond with e3. He responds with e6, pushing that pawn a little bit. I'm going to get my knight out to f3. That way, in case anything happens, I got my knight ready to block anything like bishop d3. You know what I mean? Okay, he plays c5. Very aggressive move. He's immediately challenging the center. This is pretty common against the London system. He's trying to undermine my pieces, so I'm just going to play c3, kind of reinforcing my center. This is very normal. Knight c6, gets his knight under that pawn. He is threatening to bring his queen out, so I'm going to go knight d2. Sorry, the knight on the b file to d2. That way, you know, if he brings his queen out, then the rook isn't trapped in the corner if he ever takes that b pawn. Okay, bishop to d6. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to slide my bishop right back down to, let me think here, g3, right? Yeah, bishop to g3. Oh, I can't hit enter. I have to actually click on the send prompt button. Sliding my bishop back. If he takes, he doesn't take. If he were to take, then I could recapture with my h pawn, open up that h file, and I would be able to actually like see his king. In fact, right now his king is castled, so if he would take, that would be pretty good for me. Now, I don't want to castle just yet. Actually, I can't because my bishop needs to move to d3. Yeah, I think. Ooh, I don't. Yeah, I want d3. I want d3 because then if c6, then I can slide my bishop back to e. What is it? No, sorry. c2. Yeah, I can slide back to c2. b6. Okay. He's looking to fianchetto his bishop a little bit. Kind of a strange move. It's a lot of pawn moves in the beginning, but whatever, dude. Let's see, what should I play now? I think what I'm going to do is there's a knight on, let's see, so there's a knight on c6. There's a knight on f6. If I get my knight in, he could take, yeah, you know what? I'm going to throw my knight in there because now my knight on d2 is ready to hop on up. Also, he takes off b6. Ooh, that's actually really cool. He takes b6 away from the queen. So his own queen can't go to b6 anymore, which means I don't have to worry about my queen side of the board as much anymore, which is kind of a weakness for him. This is not the main line against the London system. So I'm going to go with knight to e5. Kind of solidifying my knight right in there. This is the happiest place that my knight can be. All right, bishop b7. He does get his bishop on that diagonal. Now it is blocked by his knight, and it's also blocked by the d5 pawn, which is right in the center of the board. The only way he's going to be able to get rid of that d5 pawn is if he eventually kicks my knight out, which is actually it's possible. So I'm I'm gonna get my knight over to F3, but I want the knight on the D file to F3. I don't want to send my knight back to F3. You know what I'm saying? So let's get my other knight right over there. Let's reinforce my knight in case anything happens. Queen C7. Queen C7. Let's see. So there's a knight on C6. There's a bishop on D3. Queen C7. Queen C7 is looking at the bishop on B7, the knight on C6, the bishop on D6. Not looking at the knight. The queen also sees. What else does the queen see? The queen can see all the back rank files, or back rank squares. But most importantly, if you look to the right of the queen, I think there's some empty space. All right, there's 2 squares that are empty, the D7, E7, and then the queen sees the F7 pawn. That's next to the king. Okay, cool. So, how to make progress? How to make progress in the position. Queen is on the queen side now, so if I were to castle queen side, it would be maybe bad. Let's develop my queen. I'm going to develop my queen. I don't think he's threatening anything, right? Let's see. No, maybe he is. Okay, so look. If the knight takes on C6 now, or sorry, if the knight on C6 takes E5, and I recapture with the pawn, nope, it's still double defended. It's defended by my knight on F3 and my bishop on G3. And it's only attacked by the bishop on D6 and the queen on C7. So there's not actually a big threat here. Now, what is interesting is that my bishop on G3 is looking through 2 pieces, looking at the queen. So if something ever happens, maybe, you know, I'm kind of thinking about that in the future. I'm also thinking about attacking his king side. I mean, if his queen is all the way over there, his pieces are kind of locked up on the queen side of the board. I am thinking about getting my pieces over and attacking the king side. I mean, imagine if I go knight G5. If I go knight G5, what would he do? He would push his H-pawn, right? He would push his H-pawn, or better yet, I mean, imagine he did push his H-pawn. I might even push my H-pawn to H4 if he goes to H6. Kind of with a hook, maybe sacrificing my knight. But the problem is that the knight is still there. No, but if he takes the knight, then I take, and it's pretty devastating, actually. That could be a very devastating line. But that's relying on ChatGPT not knowing what to do. I mean, ChatGPT is kind of an AI, so I wonder if that's actually a line that I could play. I wonder if it's just risky enough to work. Let me think. But okay, so what if he then goes G6? If he goes G6, it's kind of boring. Nothing really happens. And the only reason I'm able to do this knight G5 move is because the queen on D8 is no longer looking at G5, which is pretty nice for me. So I wonder, yeah, I think, because that is a weakness of queen C7, is that it's not looking at G5 anymore, and it's not, the queen didn't actually go to B6, right? Because the B6 pawn is actually pushed up. So the queen, normally when the queen moves out to B6, it actually creates an immediate tempo. I can't just play knight G5, so I think this knight G5 is actually pretty fun. And if it's not that fun, if he just plays G6, maybe I start pushing that H-pawn. Maybe I start pushing that H-pawn and get it up there and start undermining his king's position. So yeah, let's go knight G5. Let's welcome that G6 move. And let's see how ChatGPT responds. You know, I'm pretty interested to just see how ChatGPT does respond. He goes knight H6. Okay, so he's trying to attack my knight. Now, I am totally okay with losing my knight if it means an insane attack on his king's position. Ooh, now something I didn't actually think about. Now that I moved my knight from F3, my knight on E5 is a lot weaker. It's a lot weaker. So I basically need to move really fast. And knight H4, pawn H4 is kind of a slow move. It's not a forcing move. It's actually asking ChatGPT, hey, do you want a free knight? Or do you want the free pawn that's in the middle of the board? And a sound player would take the free pawn in the middle of the board. My position's not very good. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, hold on a minute. Actually, maybe I do have a good move here. Okay. Oh wait, no, my queen is not developed. Never mind. Guys, I was thinking, what if I took the knight on f6? You know, and then lots of things could happen after that, actually. Now that I think about it. I do like this hook. I like this hook a lot, though. I'm not gonna lie. I like this hook. The only problem is I just can't get rid of that f6 knight. Let's see. Maybe I just take the knight on c6. If I take the knight on c6, kind of asks the question like, hey, are you going to take my bishop on g3? Please take my bishop on g3. And if not, then I can take the bishop on d3. I don't really want to, though. I actually just want him to take. So actually, there's no threat of him taking. But if I push the h4, if I push h4, now there's a threat of him taking my bishop because I have to take the other direction. And I don't think I like that at all. I don't think I like wanting to take the other direction. So, knight h6, huh? I wonder, yeah, if I take c6, is that a forcing move? No, because he can, well, I can just move back. Yeah, if he takes my knight there, then he very much weakens his position. So he's definitely going to take back when I take c6. Maybe he takes with the queen. Maybe he takes with a pawn. Oh, wait, is there a pawn? No, maybe he takes with the bishop. Maybe he takes with the queen. Does g5 look at e5? No, it doesn't, obviously. I thought maybe my knights looked at each other and they could actually like jump at each other. Take each other, but no, that doesn't work. I've already got myself into a pretty sticky situation. I kind of thought this attack was a little stronger. Maybe I should have just waited for him to make a mistake first, but I'm playing against ChatGPT. I don't know if he's gonna make a mistake. I mean, he kind of did already. So, he kind of did already with pushing, b6 with his pawn. It's not really a mistake, though. It's not a mistake, right? It's just kind of like a weird move. An inaccuracy. That's the term. You know what, bro? I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. You know what? I don't care. We're going h4. Oops, can't hit enter. We're going h4. Take my knight, bro. Take it. I dare you. No. Bishop takes g3. Hey, dude. There's a knight, right? I went knight e5. Dude, you can't just take my knight, bro. Okay, ChatGPT's already making weird things, dude. Weird things are going on. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm allowed to correct ChatGPT. This is part of me learning. If it does something that's not legal, I should be able to correct it, right? So bishop from d6 goes through my knight on e5, through my knight, and takes my dark squared bishop on g3. That is just not allowed. So I'm gonna say illegal. Let's see. I have a knight on e5. So your dark square bishop on, what is it? d6 can't move through it to take my bishop on g3. Okay, give me a better move, Mr. ChatGPT. Okay, so he goes c takes d4. Whoa, kind of an interesting move here. Yeah, he's not taking the bait. He does not want to take that hook, that free knight on g5. He just doesn't want to do it. That's okay with me. I'm kind of okay with, I think I want to take, let's see, so that definitely weakens his position, actually. I mean, the fact that he pushed b6 and now he got rid of his c5 pawn is kind of weird, because now his pawn structure looks a little disorganized. And let's see, I'm going to keep, I like having my e file open. I really don't like opening up my c file. So I'm not going to take with my C pawn, because if I ever decide I want to castle to the left, especially now that I pushed H4, I might think about castling to the left or leaving my king in the center. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, leaving my king in the center is not really a thing now that I'm going to take with my E3 pawn. So E takes D4. Yeah. E takes D4. Not really, it's kind of a weird in-between move. It's not really doing anything crazy. I still want him to take. H takes G5. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so when the H pawn takes back on G5, because my H pawn is on H4, it is going to threaten to take his knight as well. Knight H5. Okay, he goes knight H5. Now here's a fun little thing. Guys, my queen's looking at H5. Yep, my queen on D1. Let's see here. D1, E2, F3, G4, H5. Not only is my queen looking, oh my goodness. Not only is my, dude, what elo is ChatGPT? Obviously, I'm not using a chess thing, but this is a lot easier than playing against Stockfish at 1100 from the last blindfold chess video. Not only does queen take H5 and I restore the knight that I just sacrificed, but I'm also, guys, I'm also threatening a checkmate in 1. And the only way for him to defend this checkmate in 1 is if he plays F6 or F5. He has to play F6 or F5. G6, not going to cut it. And that's going to be queen H8 checkmate. Good game, ChatGPT. Thanks for playing. Let's just see if it is correct. King G8. Buddy. I'm taking that king. Queen takes G8, bro. You can't just move away. What? I'm taking your king, dude. What are you gonna do? Evaluating the legality of queen. Okay. 1-0. He resigns. After losing his king, he resigns. Wow. That was fun. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next episode, or whatever. Thanks. Peace. Bye.